Warren Buffett says, invest in what you know. This makes sound advice because we want to make the best use of our money, especially when it comes to investments. This is where fundamental analysis comes in to help you understand a company better. That sounds great on paper, but in reality, fundamental analysis may not be as perfect as we all think. And why is that? Well, let's discuss that in today's video. To begin, let's simplify fundamental analysis into two key parts, the quantitative and qualitative. The quantitative part looks at the historical financial statements, key ratios and trends to understand how did the company perform in the past and to estimate its future potential. The problem is historical performance cannot guarantee future performance. The qualitative part looks at the business nature, which is what the business does, the business model, which is how the business makes money, and economic moat, which is how competitive is the business. Some analysts may even go to the extent of assessing management's competence and reliability. The problem with the qualitative analysis is that information is always not easy to search for, and because they tend to have less numerical data, everybody's analysis might be different. Let's take Apple as an example. For some people, Apple has a wide economic moat because of its luxurious brand and the high switching costs to consumer. Because generally, it's painful to change from an iPhone to an Android. But as a non-Apple user myself, please don't judge. Apple may not be a very strong brand. I don't get the feeling of being overly attached with an iPhone because it's very expensive to afford an iPhone where I can buy like at least 5 pieces of Xiaomi or even a few pieces of Samsung. Speaking of other brands, Apple is not even a market leader in the smartphones and the computer markets. In the third quarter of 2022, Apple only have 16% of the entire smartphone market, which is slightly behind Samsung. For the computer markets, Apple's market share is only 13.5%, which is far behind the likes of Lenovo, HP, and Dell. So with two contradicting information, does Apple still have a wide economic moat? That is up to interpretation. In general, fundamental analysis deals with a lot of information asymmetry and timing. Chances are we will never get timely access to all the information about a company, even if you are working for that particular company. Let's put in a hypothetical scenario. Let's say we are developers working in Google, specifically Google Maps. As a developer, we may be specialized in how to code the app, how to fix bugs, and how to keep the apps up to date. But we may not know how does Google Maps make money, how expensive it is to maintain or even update Google Maps. Likely those other information will be known by the other departments within the company. Depending on your role, you may or may not know much about the company, even as an insider. Even when it comes to publicly available information like annual reports and quarterly reports, these will only be published publicly, usually at least 1 month after the reporting period. By the time that happens, the insiders of the company, which are usually the finance department or even the CFO, will already know about the financial results of the company. Luckily, of course, thanks to insider trading regulations, they can't really buy or sell shares of the company based on this yet to publish information. Or can they? So yes, fundamental analysis isn't perfect, but I think it's still better than doing nothing because at least by doing fundamental analysis, you know a little bit more about the company than before you did your research. We will need to accept the imperfections, work with whatever information that we have, and justify our own decisions. Of course, we will also need to be flexible in our investment journey as and when any circumstances change. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate that you have watched all the way to the end, and if you are yet to do so, do click on the subscribe button so you can catch my latest videos. I will see you in the next one.